Hey, welcome to another episode of Clear Light Connections, where we talk to the people behind the businesses of Bay Area Houston, proudly sponsored by UTMB Health. Today's guest is Anastasia, and you're with the Tino Agency?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell me about the Tino Agency. What do you guys do?
We create pipelines that work. And that is done by creating websites and applications that are serving the users of our clients.
So tell me about some of your big projects you've had lately.
Okay, we work a lot for financial sector, and in financial sector we created application for B2B software that serves credit unions. So we designed the app that will be going to credit unions, and they went with that app to demo it at Finovate in New York this September.
Okay.
And they just recently won an award for it.
Awesome.
For being intuitive, among other things. And intuitive, we cheer with them that we contributed to that.
So it's not just web development. You're connecting the back end to the web and creating these applications.
Sometimes we do. However, not all the time. Again, working with financial sector, we work with healthcare sector, we work with e-commerce. They often have their own backend development because that's the essence of their business. Mm-hmm. However, we start with design. We start with design and with creating the user experience. We're trying to set goals for we split all of the work in flows and split that work, set the goals for each flow, and set the priorities for each flow, design how the user should be interacting with that app. Once they log into your bank, what's the first thing that they should see? When they log into the e-commerce app, why are they there? Mm-hmm. And what are they trying to find? We have to make them find it. Easy.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point that how important UX is, right? It's so talk to me a little about that, because it sounds like you start there and then and I think a lot of small businesses don't pay enough attention to user experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think the trade-offs are not that obvious today. But starting with small businesses like restaurants, typically their websites are driven by marketing, because a website is considered as a marketing tool. However, what happens after marketing is user experience. Marketing, we often work together with marketing, other marketing agencies, and that's where our line is drawn. We don't have any marketing specialists at all. And so our client works with other marketing agency that sets the goals, but then we lay it out. We decide how it should be done. And small companies like restaurants is a common example. We all go to restaurants once in a while. And when we go to that website, what should be there? Should there be, I'm on the website to see what they have. I'm on the website maybe to check the menu. I'm on the website maybe to reserve a table. But where are all those buttons? Are they available to me? Maybe to order delivery. Is that available anywhere? Does it point me to we deliver with some other services or not? And so that's the power of user experience, that it can bring their customers to what they're offering much faster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did you get into this line of work?
That's a great question. I think behind everything was intolerance for low quality products, and intolerance for interrupted experience whenever I was trying to get somewhere and do something. Got the courage to open the company. But before that, there was another 10 to 12 years of freelancing. So after freelancing, after finding courage, I moved to the States 17 years ago, and my first work was at the cafe. I was a server at the chocolate bar in Rice Village, and serving, becoming a supervisor, becoming an assistant manager, becoming the store manager. I was like, okay, so if you work good, you get promoted, and people like that. That was my first American dream coming together in the beginning of 2000s. And after that, all of the time I was freelancing. Then I was teaching at University of Houston, still freelancing, and I was trying to get to a point where I would teach design. However, I didn't have any accolades in design at that time. I just know how to do this, and I know how to, I read all of these books, and I promise I know this, and people pay me for it. So that's not enough to teach, of course. And then started the company.
And
Started the company with friends who I trust.
okay.
Yeah, who other all together with our first team, we were able to complete simple websites, UX, UI design, development, and promotion.
And how can people find you? What is your website? Because I've been to it and it's really sharp. I mean, you guys definitely have an eye for UX.
Thank you so much. Tino.design.
Okay.
That's our website. Tino.design. We try to show our. We don't find clients through our website, but we try to show our case studies. When we meet someone, I go to some niche conferences. When we meet someone, we can direct them to there for more information.
So so you said your website's not really for sales or salesy. What do you do to get new clients? How do you do that?
Since one of the specialties is UX and UI design, that's the first step typically. Then there's niche platforms that showcase design work, like Dribble. That's one of the places where we show how we work. We show examples, not necessarily the real projects, because real projects are very complex and often have some limitations, driven by the compliance, driven by other things that cannot show all of the creativity. But in Dribble, we can show how we could do this. We sometimes would take the existing project and change it up, remove some things that are related to compliance, and showcase how it could look as well.
So you mentioned the word niche a lot, right? So what would you say your niche is?
Our niche is because we serve those who have a need for more effective flow. They have already identified that. They identified that their product is complex. They identified that they're reaching out to new markets. They are in a position where they can't figure out how to place elements. Like one of the clients was Energy Ogre. That's our Houston-based company. They have a big group of developers in their team, and over the years they developed many instruments and were placing them in their website. But there was some point when there was too many instruments to place them such that users will find them and that users will enjoy them. So at that overload, they find us. Like, okay, we need to structure this, and we need to make it pleasant for the users and to find them. So our niche is definitely at creating effective pipelines that work. And also industries, financial industry, healthcare, and e-commerce. We often hear from our clients that they... it's such a relief to find somebody who understands this already, and we don't have to explain how it works. And it's one, and then another one from different angles, from the industry angle, from what we do, and then also from the need is compliance. When the clients have a product that's driven by compliance, like for example, we created software for pilots to report. Incidents with wildlife. They have to do it in Australia. They have to report every incident with every bird. And it was a tedious paperwork that nobody likes. And we reduced that paperwork such that it takes less than 10 minutes for them. And it's not the paperwork anymore.
Yeah. No, and it's interesting because user experiences and customer experience, all that, that's big industry right now. So it sounds like you got in at just the right time. Yeah. Being in there for 8 years, it's definitely boomed with pandemic. Because everybody who haven't thought of it or were putting it away for later, they realize that right now many people don't go wherever they used to go, don't gather how they used to gather, and it has to happen online. Yeah, it's you mentioned the world's gone more online.
Yeah.
But if it's a terrible experience, they're not coming back. So that's kind of where you guys step in and really make that, like you said, I like the word flow. You make it flow much better.
Yeah. I think you are correct. We try to study by industry how users are interacting, how patient the users are, and we find that in like in restaurant industry, people are less and less patient. Over 80% will go to another place if they cannot do what they wanted to do on the website, or if they don't like the website. In financial industry, people are more loyal. However, if they always know where their money are, and that's one of the first priorities in financial dashboards or any kind of screens or mobile apps, is that where the money is. Money is or money are? I'm sorry.
Is
money is where the money. I said money are. And like English. So where the money is has to always be on the top screen, and what's happening with the money, it has always has to be a focus. If we have to scroll for that, it's too stressful.
Well, and it changes over time, right? Like Apple will come out with a new iOS, and they'll move kind of where the buttons are, and it kind of makes everybody start having to change to that type of format. Do you see that going on a lot?
Of course, and how they change everything. We often like to check out the trendsetters that people already used to. If somebody comes out with a new tool, we always have to also see what people are used to. We cannot make it less than it's already a convention.
Yeah.
And also interesting to see to cross the industries. What is used to do in one of the very popular apps can be applicable in another industry, and that can also turn out a very interesting a tool and a way to lay out.
Well, and that's interesting because I think a lot of businesses focus on their business and their competitors when they're making comparisons. And what you're saying is they need to look outside of that probably for more best practices.
Yes, certainly. That's exploring at least. We typically ask for competitors. We have to know that. We have to be aware always, and they're also always growing. And one week we check competitors there one way, another week they already changed their website. Nothing stands on the same place. Everything's moving forward, or unless if they're not, it's moving back.
So, but for small businesses, the web is actually a place where they can compete on a big scale, right? Because nobody has to know how small the business is based on their presence on the web.
Of course, yes, of course.
But it's got to be, it's their opportunity basically to have the same types of apps, same types of design as Fortune 500 companies.
In a way, they can create a similar quality of the product. However, the resources, smaller companies don't have that many resources to push in every direction. We often, maybe half of our clients are established companies and half are startups. And for startups, resources are pressing, and they cannot spend them on everything they wish, or as much as established company. Established company has marketing hired out or in-house. They have that what concerns us. Marketing, they have product, the whole product team or product lead or somebody who is responsible for that product, who also sets goals for each flow. Startups don't have anything. Startups have founders and maybe some starting team, and they would come with them, and we just discussed this. We try to set goals. We see over when I say close to 150 startups went through our company.
Oh, wow.
And we've seen how people do this. Over time, what their priority are and where they are today, we can also track them. Somebody pivots, somebody changes direction, somebody changes the idea, but startups are very lively entities, and they, so offering the same set of things as the Fortune 500 companies is difficult at start, I would say.
Yeah.
But quality can always be there.
Yeah.
Like one of the priorities for startups is to reach the market as fast as possible. Because whoever don't reach the market in 2-3 months, their statistics shows that their probability of reaching the market, it drops right away after 3 months because they ran out of resources. And then if they did, there is no inertia, so they have to. So we create and advise on smaller products. Something smaller, something that will reach the customer. They will start building customer base. They will start building people will start getting to know them. Maybe even if the model assumes some kind of cash flow right away, then they will get some cash flow and so on. So they will become more stable.
So you've been running the agency for how many years now?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, we just turned 8 a week ago.
What project are you most proud of? Or what are you most proud of in the fact that you've been able to build this business over the last 8 years?
Nice. That's a very thoughtful question. I think about this often, and I think about it when our team does something so extraordinary. I'm like, I cannot be any more thankful for this team. Like, how is this people? And I definitely contributed together with our other, with our CEO, with our CTO. Together we built this team, and somehow that people typically don't leave us. They stayed with. We help them grow. We help them develop, and I think that's the biggest achievement. Also, just the team that we have, and that how much they can do, and how impressive they are. But every detail, of course, visible to me, but then to clients, and clients who after that come back. Just recently, one story that we had. I go to the conference. I meet people. Conference was about bank automation. So because other clients, we have to be aware of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And also some prospects were there as well. And I meet the prospective client. We start working on their project. We complete it by maybe May or June. And a few months later, his son reached out to us. And he says that when we were completing his dad's project, he was intern there. And he saw how we think about each flow. And he's like, it was so amazing to see how you turned a boring banking app into an immersive, pleasant experience. I want the same for my company. Now I want to hire you for my company that does completely different thing.
Nice.
I'm like, thank you. And that's all the team that does that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds like you put together a great team over there. And like I said, if people want to reach you, Tino.design.
Correct.
And it's worth a look. It's very sharp.
Thank you so much.
So anything else you want to tell us about Tino or the industry?
We offer a free UX review, free UX evaluation, and please take advantage.
Okay.
Please take advantage. That is, there's no obligation. Our UX lead sits and he creates top 3 changes that a person or that the company can do that will affect how users interact with their website or an application.
Yeah, and if people aren't paying attention to UX, they're missing out on business, basically. Yeah. I mean, they really are.
And typically there's something super easy that can be done, that's hot, that is fixed, and users will find what they wanted them to find.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for having me.